And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. And this segment... And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Thank you for tuning in on this cold and wet night across the Inland Empire right now. But we're going to heat things up with a big show. We got a lot of high school soccer and basketball to get you caught up in as we go into the CIF State playoffs right now in the SoCal Regional for soccer. A little bit later in the show, we got some football too, man. It's always a good time to talk some football. Kenny Lawler from Upland, now a star in the Canadian Football League. Now, Kenny's too humble to say this. I'll say it. He is now the highest paid player in the CFL. That's a non-quarterback, right? So quarterbacks usually get the most money. NFL, CFL, doesn't matter. But outside quarterbacks, Kenny Lawler got paid up there by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We're going to talk to Kenny Lawler. And our first interview with the brand new head football coach, James Griffin at San Bernardino Valley College. So we got a lot to get to in this show. We're going to start things off, though, with our big Boost play of the week. You probably already saw it on social media. We take you to the high school CIF State Wrestling Championships at Mechanics Bank Arena in Bakersfield, and we saw the return of the king. Inland Sports. Let's do this. JW North's Kobe Merrill. If you did not know this, Kobe went to the state finals as a freshman and a sophomore, and he came up a little bit short in each of those matches. But as a junior for JW North, the pride of 3rd and Chicago, Kobe Merrill gets it done. He defeated Mark Marin from Clovis High School in the championship match, as you're looking at it right now. So Kobe Merrill, your champion at 285 pounds, the heavyweight division. He is the first state champion ever for JW North. He is the first state champion for the Riverside Unified School District, and he's the first champion from the city of Riverside since 1996, about 30 years ago. And Kobe Merrill gets it done. That is our big Boost play of the week. So 3 trips to the state finals, and now finally a state champion. The return of the king, Kobe Merrill, man. Congratulations, Kobe, bringing home the state championship. All right, let's talk some high school soccer as well. We'll start with the girls' side. In the CIF Southern Section Open Division playoffs, in the Southern Section, now it's spilling into Division I in the SoCal Regional. Santiago, the Sharks get it done. They win and advance in Division I in the SoCal Regional, 1-0 result against Mater Dei. Now they will take on Oaks Christian in the second round. And remember, this regional is a 1-week sprint. Thursday would be the semifinals. Saturday, the championship match. So if you win, you advance 1 week a chance to win another championship. So Santiago girls in Division 1. Also, Vista del Lago, your Division 7 champion in the CIF Southern section, a 3-0 winner against Silmar in Division 5 for the SoCal Regional. They will play on the road at Tri-City Christian in the next round. We also had Heritage in D4 advance, and Temecula Prep also in Division 5, like VDL. T-Prep also moving on to the semifinals in the SoCal Regional. On the boys' side, we're going to hang our hat with the Yucaipa Thunderbirds. The T-Birds picking up a big 5-0 victory against the Sheiks from Hollywood in the opening round in Division 4. So now the Thunderbirds will play on the road at Pacific Ridge in Carlsbad on Thursday. And if they win that one, again, Saturday would be the championship match. We'll see if head coach Ryan Montgomery and the Thunderbirds can make it all the way and win the championship. We had a chance to catch up with Coach Montgomery from Ireland. If you have not met Coach Montgomery, we had a good chance to chat just moments ago and talk about how he got to Yucaipa and the success that the Thunderbirds are having this season. They're going to go down to Carlsbad. They're going to give them a good crack. Here's head coach Ryan Montgomery. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as they get ready for the Division 4 SoCal Regional Semifinals on the road at the top seed. We'll get to that in just a moment. It's the head coach of your Yucaipa Thunderbirds boys soccer team, Ryan Montgomery. And coach, big win last night against Hollywood, 5-0. When you look at the way this Yucaipa team is playing, even during the CIF Southern Section playoff run, are you guys playing your best soccer of the season, like right now, late in the season?
Yeah, I want to say beginning of the season, we had a lot to figure out. But kind of speaking with the boys, we've always talked about peaking at the right time. The losses during the season, we kind of took them as positives and what we could get out of it. So we were able to peak at the right time. Through the playoffs, I mean, we're winning games, last kick of the game or in golden goal. And it's all down to the mentality and knowing they're playing their best soccer, knowing they're peaking at the right time.
What do you think that says about your team that even when it's coming down to the final minutes and maybe the match is level or you guys are down by a goal, what does it say about your team that, it sounds like more times than not, they found a way to, find the equalizer or find that game-winning goal?
Yeah, it's about never giving up. It's accountability, right? You're working for the guy right beside you. You're working for the guy in front of you. You're working for the guy behind you. And if the guy at the front's putting the work in, that means everyone else is going to put the work in. It's the togetherness part of it. Kind of the mental strength of, people playing soccer. It gets tough, right? There's those moments where you need to dig deep. We did a lot of mental strength training. We still do it after practice, where we have them doing planks for 3 minutes straight. And if one of their teammates drop, the whole team starts again. So it's getting to those last kind of 30 seconds or last minute or last 10 minutes and digging deep. Like they know they can do it. It's the body won't give up. Their mind will give up before their body will. So definitely the mental strength training has come in and it showed in the late stages of a lot of the games we've won.
Coach, it's funny you say that. Put a big smile on my face because a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I played 4 years of varsity, and my high school coach, he called it, we had one thing called the ball dance, and we had another thing, which is just the leg lifts. We'd lay on the ground and lift our legs. Yep. Same thing. If somebody touched the ground, we're going to do it again, and then everybody's running. And so he bought into what you're saying right now, so I get that.
Yeah, but we could be there all night, They're in control of it. They're in control of their destiny,
That's awesome. Well, Coach, okay, 5-0 against Hollywood in that SoCal Regional opening game. What did you like? What was clicking? It was 3-0 at halftime. Offensively, from what I could see, just doing the eye test, you guys were dominating that match. What did you like about that win?
I think just them bouncing back, right? It's always difficult playing a final and giving it your all and then losing on penalties. That's a long walk up to take a penalty, and when you miss, you're kind of on your own. It's a long walk on your own. So the biggest thing for me was just how much they were together during that game, working together, moving the ball, and overall having a smile on their face. After just losing 2 days ago, losing a big game. So just having a smile on their face, playing together, and knowing that they're still playing their best soccer. It didn't affect their how they were playing.
Mm-hmm. So after that, that championship match against Laguna Beach, you have to regroup, reset, refocus for this SoCal Regional, and it's quick. I mean, it's 1 week. It's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If you can win out and win the whole thing. What was the message to the guys that hey, we still have some games in front of us. We need to lock in. We still have some important games.
Yep, you gotta. I mean, when we get onto the bus, obviously it was quiet. You gotta let them just kind of think on their own a little bit, but know that everyone's probably thinking the same thing that you're thinking. Then we went and ate, and then you kind of seen the switch come on after they'd eaten, and they were talking with each other a little bit at dinner. You just kind of seen a switch come on, and the focus was back. Like there's a time to be sad, there's a time to be down, but there's another game. You got to move on to the next one. You put it to the back of your head. The guys that missed the penalty, guys that missed chances, the rest of the guys, they just got to put it to the back. Take what we can from it and move on to that next one.
Well, Coach, I couldn't help but notice, I have the brackets open in front of me right now for Division 4. I couldn't help but notice Laguna Beach is on the other side. So first things first, right? You got to go to the top seed, Pacific Ridge, which is down in Carlsbad near the San Diego area. First, they're the top seed for a reason. So first you have to get past them. But, I mean, it's hard not to think about, hey, guys, if we control our own destiny, we have a chance to maybe get some redemption against that Laguna Beach team. I know, again, Pacific Ridge, play who's in front of you right now, but it's hard not to see Laguna Beach on the other side of that bracket.
I think it's definitely on their minds. Yeah. They see it too. It's definitely on their minds. I mean, Pacific Ridge, I think if I'm correct, they've only lost 2 games. I think they've only conceded 9 goals. I think the same thing we've done all season. We've been underdogs. We're never going to adapt to any team. We're going to go give it our all and try and make them adapt to how we play.
Well, Coach, full disclosure for everyone watching this interview, again, I was out at your match in the first round against Hollywood. I got a couple great goals on video. Then I interviewed you and your guy Sergio and Kenny, and then my SD card had an error. I couldn't download the files. Let me give these guys a shout out, Kenny and Sergio. I know you've got a lot of great players, but I promised them I was going to get them on the show. What do they bring to your team, especially offensively?
Oh, they're unbelievable. At the start of the season, I knew these 2 guys were going to be kind of superstars, but they knew that too. So that was the biggest part was bringing them into the team, like creating the team, and once we got Sergio fit and kind of playing, he earned the armband, and he's just been absolutely outstanding as a leader. I think he maybe had a lot of people maybe against him, thinking he couldn't be the leader, and he's proved it to everyone. But what a player! And Kenny's different class. The guy can he can ping a ball. He's got an eye for goal, and he does not stop running. Like the guy just doesn't stop running, which is great. And I continue to tell him, do not stop running. a lot of time for those 2 guys. A lot of time for them.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, if people are, again, watching this interview, they're listening, they're probably thinking, wow, he's not from around here. I don't think he's a Yucaipa native. So, Coach, where are you from originally?
Well, usually when people ask me, I tell them I'm from southern Yucaipa, and that's where the accent comes from. But no, I'm from a wee town in Northern Ireland called Killyleagh. It's about 20 minutes outside Belfast. So I've been out in the States for 10 years now.
So what brought you this way?
I came out in 2014 to play college soccer.
Okay.
Started in Wyoming, did 2 years there. Absolutely loved it. In the middle of nowhere, but there was no distractions. It was a lot of fun, great experience. And then I transferred to Wyland Baptist University in Plainview, Texas. It's a Panhandle. Where I won a national championship there as a player, and then I coached the season after that, and then ended up, my wife is from Redlands, so I met her in Texas, and that's how I've ended up out this direction.
So now you're at Yucaipa High School having a good crack.
Yep, having good crack. I'm absolutely loving it. It's one of those things where I think I've still got the player mind, but the coach's heart. Mm-hmm. I still have that fire in my stomach the night before the game or the morning of the game, and everyone's just on the same page. All the players, my assistant coach, my assistant coaches, Theo, Danny, and Jerry, they all have the same mindset. They all have that. We've got a game. We feel like we're playing. That's the energy the players kind of give back to us, and the energy we give to them.
Starts from the top, right? Starts from the coaches, the managers, and it trickles down from there. Coach, so my wife and I, we took our family to Ireland a couple of years ago. We loved it. In fact, she loved, full disclosure, I'll pull the curtain back a little bit more. She loved it so much, she was actually looking at houses and house prices over there if we could ever afford a second house, because she loved just being out in the countryside. But we did all the tourist stuff, Dublin, Galway, yep. Kilkenny, all those places. But she loved it so much. But I wanted to ask you, if it crossed your mind, because it crossed mine last night, that there's actually a Hollywood, Ireland. And we drove through it or past Hollywood. And I was like, oh, they're playing Hollywood last night. I wonder if Coach Montgomery's thinking about that.
Yes, no, it's funny. Well, I think my wife and your wife will get along because she wants to move to Ireland too. She's always bothering me about it. But yes, I am very familiar with Hollywood. We actually, when I played back home, we played against them. They were known for the long ball. So when we were growing up and we were playing, if we were playing a team and they were playing the long ball, we would call it, oh, this team plays the Hollywood ball. So the boys were familiar with what the Hollywood ball is. When we played a lot of teams in CIF, they would say, oh, play the Hollywood ball, which is that long ball. But I don't think Hollywood got a chance to play the Hollywood ball because they didn't really get a sniff around what the boys were doing, the high press. That's
awesome. I love that. I love that. You're taking that little slice of Ireland and bringing it here to CIF soccer. All right, Coach, finally, last question for me. So you've got Pacific Ridge Thursday night semifinals. You win that one, you would go to Saturday's championship match. What you kind of already answered this, but what do you guys have to do well on the road against Pacific Ridge to get that win?
I think stick together, number one, and believe. Like, they got to believe they can beat anybody. Kind of start of the season, mid-season, you could tell the belief was there with half of them, and then it gradually went to 75% of them. And even after the losses, the belief stayed because sometimes we were the better team, and good teams win games, So the teams who were playing in the Citrus Belt, I think they made us who we are. Like they give us the want, the hunger. Because we knew we were at that level. We knew we could play at that level. So I think just having that, the mentality, the mental strength, enjoy it. They've never been here before. I'm enjoying it. We just got to go put a smile on our face and go out and play and not let anything from the outside creep in.
Yeah.
They've just got to play for each other.
Well, you guys certainly look impressive in that opening round win against Hollywood. Again, Yucaipa, the 4 seed, Pacific Ridge, the 1 seed. That's down in Carlsbad. On the other side of the bracket, if you're keeping track at home, Laguna Beach is the 2 seed. Central is the 3rd seed. So the winners of those 2 matches would advance to Saturday's championship. So, Coach, give them a good crack tomorrow night. I'm going to end it like this. I got some Ireland swag when I was over there, and I rocked this one a lot. So, good luck against Pacific Ridge, Coach. We're pulling for you.
Thank you so much.
That is Ryan Montgomery, the head boys soccer coach for the Yucaipa Thunderbirds, here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, that was head coach Ryan Montgomery from Yucaipa High School. The boys team making it to a championship match in the southern section, losing to Laguna Beach in penalty kicks. And as you just heard, Laguna Beach is on the opposite side of the bracket, so could they meet again? Yeah, it's possible, but they'll both have to take care of some business if they're going to see each other on Saturday for the championship match. Best of luck to the Thunderbirds going on the road down to Pacific Ridge in Carlsbad. All right, that's high school soccer. Let's talk some high school basketball. Our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game for basketball this week was the Riverside Poly Bears. They made it to the semifinals in Division II AA. And for the state playoffs, at least for the SoCal Regional, they were Division II, and they were the number 1 seed. The Bears opening the playoffs against Sage Creek from Carlsbad. I guess it's a local IE versus Carlsbad week. But the Poly Bears took care of Sage Creek last night. The Bobcats by a final score of 80-52. Big win for the Bears and head coach Travis Showalter. Now they will play at home again on Thursday night against St. Augustine from the San Diego area in the second round in the Division II state playoffs. And that was our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, basketball-wise, as the Bears getting the number 1 seed in Southern California for Division II. All right, let's see. Let's join the Aquinas Falcons. They were going on the road in Division 3 playing up at North High School in Bakersfield. And I'll be honest, I had some real mixed feelings about this one because I love the Aquinas Falcons. They had a really good team, really good season. But I covered the North Stars for 8 years as well, and I had some good times in that North High School gym up there in Oildale. And I had some friends up there doing local media up there for television, and they sent me some highlights. So here's the spoiler alert. I think if you've heard by now, because it was 24 hours ago, or just about 24 hours ago, Aquinas lost the game 60-45, but we do have some highlights. So let's do this. Highlights, Aquinas and Oildale taking on the North Stars in Division III SoCal playoffs. Third quarter, North up 35-28. Juma Katendo with the bucket there. Then more from Aquinas. Jujo Moreno to Malachi Jones with the basket. The Falcons down by just 5, 37-32. But the Stars are tough, especially on their home floor up there in North Bakersfield. Oildale, Caden Hayner, the corner three, and the Stars led 42-33 at that point. And then the Falcons back the other way. Moreno inside to Katendo. Oh, he's so tough to stop. You can't coach Hythe, man. You either got it or you don't. Katendo's got it. The Moreno, little mid-range jumper for Moreno there. And then more from the Falcons. It's going to be Vincent Warsaw in transition up ahead to Malachi Jones, the quarterback, getting the basket there for the Aquinas Falcons. But North too much in this one. They got a standout sophomore player named Ethan Signs. He's going to hit the runner there for the Stars. Big crowd out there. Signs dropped a game-high 22. And again, North victorious in this game, 60-45. So the Falcons finished the season at 17-17 overall. But more importantly, they are your CIF Southern Section Division 3A champions. I was texting with head coach Daryl Pegram earlier today, if you're watching us live on Wednesday night, and I'm going to get a chance to interview him, kind of recap the whole season, so you can find a little bit of that next week on Inland Sports and definitely on IEMG on the Sports Weekly show. We also had a Ken Sporting Goods must-see baseball game because as we crown champions in basketball and soccer, wrestling, all the good stuff, right? It's also the spring season. They started, man, on the diamond, softball, baseball, all of it. Our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game on the baseball diamond this week, Arrowhead Christian taking on rival Aquinas. These are two of the top teams in the area. And they're going to go head-to-head on Friday up in San Bernardino in our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, and that is an Ambassador League game. So already league play starting, and a huge one right out of the gate for the Eagles and the Falcons. I had a chance to see Aquinas just last week. Hold on one second as I do something here to the RTO. I had a chance to see the Aquinas Falcons just last week, and man, they look good. In fact, they beat Beaumont in their season opener 16-1, and then they beat El Rancho 15-1. So they've outscored their opponents 31-2 through their first two games of the season. Last time I saw Aquinas, actually, they were playing in the CIF Southern Section Division I quarterfinals against Corona, and we know what the Panthers did. They went on to win the Division I championship, and that they also were crowned the state and national champions as well, but they really battled Corona. So anyways, long story short, the last time I saw Aquinas on the baseball diamond, it was against Corona last year in the D1 quarterfinals, and they look like they are just as good. They are loaded with talent. Coach Carpentier does an awesome job, and yeah, they've got a really good team, but so does ACA. It's going to be a lot of fun on Friday. Hopefully, the weather will cooperate, and we'll get that game in. It looks like the rain's coming in early. It's pouring out right now if you're watching us live on Wednesday night. So hopefully, the field will be in good enough condition come Friday, and they can get this game in between the Falcons and the Eagles as they open up Ambassador League play in our Ken Sporting Goods must-see baseball game this week. All right, we're going to take our very first commercial break of the night. Man, that was a long first segment, but there was a lot to get to with all the playoffs going on. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to check in with Kenny Lawler, the local Upland native in the Canadian Football League now, and he's having a great career up in the CFL. He's going to be playing for the Hamilton Tiger Cats coming up. Got a very nice contract up there, so we'll talk all things Kenny Lawler when we come back here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, right after this. Of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
If you're the parent of a highly talented athlete, you need to manage that intensity, not feed it. Make sure they're not competing too often. Really be about academics first. Advocate quality practice while prioritizing rest. More importantly, place them around coaches and people who will empower them with the tools they can use beyond sports. Your boy, Boost Man.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
And we are back here on the Inland Sports Show. If you're watching us live and amplified or even the replay on demand, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you are down with the Inland Empire, if you like local sports, if you love our community, give us a like and share this video. We would appreciate it. All right. So we got all the CIF playoffs covered for the most part. There's so much going on right now. Ramona basketball, boys basketball, they're still alive in the state playoffs. Hillcrest girls basketball, they're still alive in the playoffs. So there's a lot going on right now. But we always find room to talk football on the Inland Sports Show. We love it. We cover it hard here in the IE. And one of our guys, Kenny Lawler, the former Upland star, played at Cal. Now he's up in the Canadian Football League. And he's a star up there, man. He is a CFL star, and he's getting paid like one. He is now joining the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We had a chance to talk with Kenny about playing in the CFL, how life has been up there. He loves it. Spoiler alert, he loves it up there in the CFL. And he's really finding a niche up there with his family and playing in the CFL. He's got a great thing going right now. So here's our exclusive interview with CFL star Kenny Lawler. Inland Sports.
Oh man, thank you. First off, thank you, Pep, for having me. And it's going great. It's going great. Live here full time in Canada with my family, my wife and my son. And yeah, man, it's kind of cool up here. Cold, colder than normal than what we're used to in the Inland Empire in Southern California. But yeah, we call Canada home, and it's preparing for the transition to Hamilton. So yeah, we're just getting ready for all of that. Oh, it's been great. It's really been great just because, yeah, growing up, Pomona, California, Inland Empire, you don't hear of the CFL, right? Your dream is to play in the NFL. It's the NFL or bust mentality. And growing up for me, that's what it was. And yeah, I ended up playing in the NFL for about a year and a half, and then finding myself not getting any more calls. So then my agent said, "Hey, you ever heard of the CFL?" I was just like, "No, what is it?" It's a Canadian football league. I think that's the next best thing we got to do. And I was just like, "All right, bet." Ended up going up there, and yeah, it's a little different, but at the end of the day, it's still football, man. And the biggest thing for the CFL, I say all the time, is it's rejuvenated my love for the game again. It's the closest thing to high school sports when you're just playing for the love of the game. Just because you're a professional football player, but you're not getting $1 million that you thought you were going to be getting when you were a young kid. So coming here with the guys that are in the locker room, some guys are, minimum guys, some guys are the upper scale contracts, but all said and done, we're all playing for the love of the game, because I know other guys, they could not be playing this game and be making lots of more money elsewhere, but they choose to play this game, the CFL game, and it's for the love of the game and for the relationships we make. So that's the biggest thing that the CFL, and that I'm most grateful of, being up here north of the border.
Now, Kenny, my first exposure to the CFL was way back in the day. I'm a little bit older than you. I got the gray hairs to show it. Back in the day, I went to college. I went to school with Ricky Ray, and he was like CFL legend, right, for the Edmonton Eskimos, and multiple Grey Cup winner. So I'm like, dude, he went up there and became a superstar and made a lot of money and really enjoyed playing football again. You're a multi-Grey Cup champion. You've got a great thing going up there. Do you have thoughts of maybe trying to get back into the NFL, or are things just going so well you're like, man, I'm living the dream already? What? Oh
yeah, well, fortunately for me, I'm going to be 31 this season, and the NFL is probably not going to be calling for a 31-year-old. If they do call, I probably will answer that call and give it one last chance, just because I am an ultimate competitor. Like, I love competing at the highest level, and the NFL is the highest level. But for me currently, I'm more than okay with finishing my career up here. CFL's been great to me. I've made great money up here. And when it comes to receivers and a CFL player, so man, I'm more than fortunate. I'm more than thankful, grateful. Just continue. I believe I got 9 more years up here, so yeah, I'm just gonna more than likely be sticking it up here. But man, I always go out and compete and at the highest level. So hopefully one day the NFL does come calling again, and if it doesn't, it's all right.
All right, Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were with Winnipeg, correct? And now you signed with Hamilton. So what was it about the Tiger Cats? Were you looking for a move? Did they just make you an offer you couldn't refuse? What was it about Hamilton?
It was a couple of things about Hamilton. One, it was the people first. I believe, we're in the business of football, but at the end of the day, we're in the business of people. So the people were genuine, very respectful, and I just sensed that from them from the jump. And when I got to actually visit Hamilton, I was just like, the decision that I made was a good one, just because the facilities are a lot better than a lot of the facilities in the CFL. The fans, they always come out. When I was in Edmonton, Yeah, they have the biggest stadium in the CFL in Canada, actually. So at 65,000, it's not a lot, but it's it's big.
Yeah.
It was never a packed house. So when it comes to playing, you want to play in front of fans. You're a professional. You feed off of that energy. I know for me, at least I do. And I knew going somewhere, I wanted that. Their offense was explosive last year, has been for the past 2 years under the head coach, Scott Milanovic. And when I say explosive, the quarterback threw for Ricky Ray numbers, 5,400 yards. Was the runner up to the MOP, most outstanding player of the league, and they got a great core bunch there. So it was a number of those things that drew me to Hamilton. Obviously, the contract was what it was, but I'm a guy that I never tell my agent like, hey, I'm looking for this much. I just do what I do on the field. My agent sees what he could be able to get me, and I let him, use his professional opinion to see what that number is, and he's been doing a great job. I've, been doing a pretty good job for him to be able to go get that. So, all those things made me want to go out there to Hamilton.
All right, Kenny, at the end of the day, football is football, but there are some rules differences, right, up in the Canadian Football League. Did you have any adjustments as a receiver? I mean, the field goal post, was there any, the size of the field, was there anything that you had to do to kind of adjust your game just a little bit to kind of fit in up there?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I'm a go. I'm a talented receiver. I love when the ball's in the air because it's an opportunity for me to make a play. But moving over here to the CFL, it wasn't that big of a difference. Just because to me, like I said earlier, football is football. You just have to understand the little differences that the game has. And when you understand that, it's a couple of things that go into that. You have to buy in because a lot of guys, including myself, when you come up here, it's just like, CFL football. What is a CFL? Like, I was just in the NFL, right? And so you have to buy in, but then also you got to be coachable because there are those little things like 12 men on the field, the goalpost being at the front of the end zone even being 20 yards, the field being 65 yards wide. And I believe it is 105, 10 yards long. One of those two. But when you incorporate all these things into just the play, the play of the game yourself, it's the same thing. Just, some receivers have to motion before, but as soon as you snap the ball, you have to line of scrimmage with what is a cheat code to me with added momentum moving to the line of scrimmage. It's just a wide receiver's dream. How could a DB press you? There's so many different things that if you're actually coachable into learning, it'll make the game a lot more easier up here for you, and it's fun. So, yeah, it's a little differences, but at the end of the day, it's football. You got to make the guy miss. You got to go score a touchdown. The ball is getting thrown to you, right? You're running a route. It's football, but there's a learning curve coming in to here, which might be a little hard for some guys to grasp. But the biggest thing is you just got to buy into the CFL game, and when you do, it will pay you.
So, Kenny, obviously football is king here in the United States, right? High school's big everywhere. College, obviously big. The NFL. I mean, up there when you're walking the streets of Hamilton or anywhere up there, you're just buying groceries. So people are like, hey, man, that's Kenny Lawler, the top receiver in the CFL. Like, do you get that up there? Do they love football?
They love football. They love football in their football communities. Hamilton's a great football community. Winnipeg has been a good understatement, great football community. Edmonton, where I was, they're just waiting for the team to be good. It's been proven to be a great community for football, but the team has just been on a little down turn. So, and then I was in BC for a little bit, and obviously BC being a bigger city, they have a lot of things going, so it's not as much. But the ownership and the players really have been doing a great job of getting the fans back into those seats. But man. When I'm in the grocery store, we live here currently still in Winnipeg, and it's just like, Kenny, hey, can I get a picture? And I love it. I love it. I give all the fans the time to sit there, have sometimes a 2-minute conversation. I can find myself in the store having a 30-minute conversation, and my wife's like, "Come on, like you've been here so long, like I've already checked out, right?" And it's great. It's great. The fans here are great. CFL has some of the greatest fans, and I think where I'm going, it's going to be similar. Definitely a bigger area, the Greater Toronto area. It's about 45 minutes away from Toronto, and a lot of people there, but Hamilton is a great football community. Their games when I'm there is always packed. I've been receiving a lot of love from the community, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same thing there. And I'm ready. I can't wait to get there.
All right, Kenny. Last question. If I heard you correctly earlier in the interview, you said maybe you play like another 8-9 years or whatever up there in the CFL. Your dad, obviously a longtime football coach here in the IE as well, college, high school. Whenever you're done, whether it's next year or 10 years from now, I mean, do you see yourself, coaching somewhere? I mean, what are you going to do post-football as a player, at least?
Post-football, I definitely see myself as a coach. My dad, like you said, long time coach. He dedicated a lot of his time to those coaching hours, right? And me having a family, wife, son, I couldn't do that, right? I couldn't dedicate myself to the amount of hours that he was away. It's a responsibility, but I have a responsibility here too at home. So what I plan to do actually is still consider myself a coach, stay as close to the game as possible. But I've actually started a business up here, Kenny Lawler Inner Circle Incorporated, and what I do is I go into the community and I try to help develop the young athletes and the young talent here, not just only on the football field, but within life, mentor these kids, do a lot of public speaking, currently writing a book, and also, tons of things, a lot of things on the philanthropist side of work. And that's really where my heart is. And obviously my heart's with football. So I want to kind of stay in that lane, stay in that realm. I believe we went to school and I didn't graduate. I left early, but I believe I have a PhD in football, wide receiver to be specific. And I have a lot of things to be able to tell kids, not only, like I said, not only on the football field, but off. That's one of my biggest passions. So I'm going 6 months out of the year and working on that, working with kids, volunteering my time in different organizations to network and make different relations in the community. And obviously, working with the kids. Right now, I volunteer my time for a local 7-on-7 team. Here in Winnipeg, we go to the States to take the kids to 7-on-7 tournaments to get them that extra boost that they need to be able to see. Not just because these kids are the best in Winnipeg, but when you're the best, the competition level gets capped out, right?
Yeah.
So to be able to go and experience a different culture in the United States where football, like you said, is king. And then from there, these kids get the exposure they get the competition that they need to be able to succeed in football. And that's what I want to be able to create with Kenny Lawler Inner Circle, just where kids are getting opportunities, are having all the resources that they could be able to have in football up here in Canada. Because when I look at these kids, I see the same kid like I was in their shoes when I was their age. And if it wasn't for all the resources that I've had in my life when it came to teachers, coaches, mentors, and some of the resources that I had, I know I wouldn't have made it. So to be able to be in the position that I'm in right now, I just think it's my calling to be able to recreate that for any and every kid that needs it. So that's going to be my calling. After football, but we're currently starting it right now.
That's awesome, man. So you got your foot in both worlds right now, playing football, but also setting up the future and helping the future, right? Helping a lot of kids maybe achieve their dreams and their goals. Well, Kenny, man, listen, I really appreciate the time. Congrats on the new contract. We'll be watching you up there with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Very exciting. And best of luck this upcoming season.
Oh, man, thank you, Pep. It was a pleasure being here. Can't wait to do it again. I love that you're in the Inland Empire, just, showing love to all the sports. So thank you. Thank you for having me, brother.
You got it. That's Kenny Lawler here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, the one and only Kenny Lawler here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to have more football as we hear from San Bernardino Valley College's new head coach, James Griffin, for the very first time. That's next here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
Should your child lift weights before hitting their growth spur? I get this question a lot from parents, and the simple answer is yes. Think of it as a long accumulation phase where athletes get modest gains in strength, power, and coordination. And when their growth spurt does hit, often it's to a larger degree than athletes who didn't lift weights at all. So remember, develop early, specialize late. Your boy, Boost Man.
Hey everybody, Coach Andy Wise here. We're out at Corona High School. I got my man Pep Fernandez and my favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports. As we get closer to the draft, teams have to decide. Do they go out and find a free agent veteran? Do they try to make a trade? Do they find their next guy at whatever position in the draft? Well, the Rams answered that question definitively at quarterback because they are not letting Matt Stafford go. They are going to restructure his deal. So Matt Stafford will be back as the quarterback of the Rams. And Patrick, I felt this way. I think you felt the same way. Everyone was waiting to see what Matt Stafford was going to do before deciding, hey, do we go out and get another veteran quarterback? Do we try to find our quarterback in the draft? Matt Stafford was the first move. So now the rest of the NFL, the other teams can start making a decision here, what they're going to do.
Right. I mean, dare I say that Pep and I did kind of feel this coming on, because remember last year there was a little bit of like, oh, I might retire. Stafford kind of did a similar deal. But boy, you hear Tom Brady wanted to talk to Stafford. Yeah. And we both kind of felt, you know what? I bet he ends up with the Rams.
One quick deal, too, that I should mention. My 49ers sending Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders to play with our guy Jaden Daniels, another weapon for Jaden Daniels for a Washington team that, Patrick, is already pretty darn good. They proved that this past season.
And now they just added a good piece. I believe Deebo still has some gas in the tank. He is that running back / receiver kind of thing going on. I think Jaden's happy.
Inland Sports. Breaking down everything with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. So if you're watching us live right now on Wednesday night, you can hear me tomorrow morning, man. We'll talk some sports, talk a lot of NFL, a lot of football. Speaking of football, let's take you out to San Bernardino Valley College. They had their first of what could be several Valley Days, as they call it, where a lot of high school football players in the area and their families come out to see what is going on with SBVC football. Check out the facilities and hear from their brand new head football coach, James Griffin. Now, this is just a sample of the interview I had with Coach Griffin. If you want to see the whole thing, you can find it on Sports Weekly on IEMG. If you live in the city of San Bernardino, that is Channel 3. If not, you can find it on YouTube. It's the Inland Empire Media Group. But here's a little bit of our conversation as we talk about recruiting the IE, building up SBVC. They're going to be the American Conference for the next 2 years. If they win some titles, do really well, they'll be back up in the National Conference. Here is head coach James Griffin. Inland Sports.
Leave no doubt.
Okay.
Leave no doubt. I've been, able to get coached by the best college defensive coordinator of all time, Bud Foster. And I've been with some of the greatest minds in college football at my time at Fullerton and even at my time in high school at Mater Dei, working with Taylor Kelly. Taylor Kelly runs QB3. He works with Jaden Daniels. He works with Lamar Jackson. He works with all these guys. So being able to be on both sides of this, it's more leave no doubt. That's a physical brand with my time at Mater Dei. Offense, really aggressive on the front line. Okay. We want to run the ball. Right? Defensively, we want to be real aggressive. A lot of man coverage, a lot of sacks, a lot of, forced fumbles, just aggressive style. It's me. I mean, you'll get to see me this season. I'm aggressive. We're going to go for it on fourth down. Mm-hmm. We're going to have approach. We're not leaving no doubt on the field, and I think everybody in this community is going to be proud of this program and proud of our play that we bring out this year.
All right, finally, Coach Griffin, if you were going to write out like a to-do list the next couple of months to kind of ramp up for the season, what's on that to-do list right now?
Recruit the IE, own the IE. Yeah. You can go on my Twitter, you can see that. IE over everybody. I just believe in what we're trying to do here. I was fortunate enough to coach at Mater Dei. I learned some things at Mater Dei, right? It's two things I really picked up on that I didn't know before coaching there is the best high school players in the United States are in the Inland Empire. That's one. And these high school coaches believe in this college. Yeah. And you seen the head coach at Redlands here. Support, man. Yeah. And we're excited to have that type of support around this community for this program. So, man, that's what I'm excited about, man. I'm excited for this community, man. Like I owe, the city of San Bernardino one, and and we're going to go hard to try to get us a national championship down the road. But we got to build.
Yeah.
You know, we got to go through this, you know, these two years of, you know, playing on the lower tier level, but we're going to develop some great traits that's going to take us down the road and win a couple championships down the road. So, yeah.
Inland Sports. All right, best of luck to Coach Griffin. I'm sure we'll check in with him again before the start of the season. Remember, SBVC only played a couple of games last year. They had to forfeit most of their games because of just lack of numbers. So Coach Griffin trying to jumpstart a proud program. They've had some success, so trying to get things going again for the Wolverines. And speaking of the Wolverines, men's basketball, man. Just like the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, Quincy Brewer, the head coach of the Wolverines, has SBVC on the brink of another Elite Eight. They beat Palomar in the opening round, then Santiago Canyon in the second round, and guess what? The Wolverines scored more than 100 points in each of those games, man. They can pile up the points. Now this Saturday, they will play on the road at Mount Sac. If they win that one, then they would punch their ticket to the state's Elite Eight. So best of luck to the Wolverines. We'll see if head coach Quincy Brewer and the guys can do it again and get back to the state's Elite Eight. Best of luck to them on Saturday, taking on the Mounties. And hey, don't forget CBU men's basketball. 2 huge conference games to wrap up the regular season at home. Tomorrow night, myself and the Big Jeezy, Jeff Gorham, will be on the call on ESPN as CBU will take on Billy Gillespie and Tarleton. An important game on Thursday and another one on Saturday, taking on the University of Texas Arlington. CBU preparing for WAC Vegas, the WAC conference tournament at the end of the season, to hopefully punch their ticket to the big dance, right? But some big games coming up, some meaningful games. CBU going into the conference tournament could be seeded as high as 3rd or as low as 7th. There's a lot of teams very close in the middle of the WAC standings right now. So check us out on ESPN Thursday and Saturday, myself and Jeff Gorham for CBU men's basketball, the final 2 regular season home games before the WAC tournament, aka WAC Vegas. All right, big thanks to our guests tonight. We had Yucaipa boys soccer coach Ryan Montgomery, Kenny Lawler, CFL football star, and Coach Griffin from SBVC that you just heard from. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we really do appreciate it, guys. God bless you. Stay safe out there, and thank you for watching your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.